Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Mr. Hino with Miss Hino's Lego Robotics. Today's video, instead of a lot of you asking me questions, today's video I'm going to dedicate to me asking you guys questions. So I'm going to turn the table around. There's a lot of things I need to know and understand and find out from you guys. So today I want you to totally bombard that comment section with answers to hopefully the questions that I ask of you guys. So if you're ready to answer my questions, stay with me. So as we're going through this crazy time right now, there's a lot of uncertainty with everything. And, because we live in the world of robotics, there's going to definitely be some uncertainty with robotics. Now, the interesting thing is some of you around the world have already begun to answer some of the questions that we would have. So my first question would be thrown out to those of you that have returned to school and those of you especially that are in robotics class. So here's Mr. Hino's question number one. For those of you that have returned to the classroom, whether you're a teacher or a student, I'm curious to know, what is robotics class right now looking like for you guys? What are some precautions that have been taken? What are some things that maybe used to be normal and now you're doing differently? So I want you guys to throw out a bunch of things to me. Tell me how your class goes. What are some challenges and obstacles? What are some things that maybe have stayed the same? And I just want you to throw down in the comments section as much information as you can give us, because here in the United States, I don't think anybody has gone back to school yet. So we're looking forward to hopefully in the fall, but that looks so different in my mind of what's going to happen. So it'd be interesting to know for those of you, like especially in Europe, that have gone back to school, what are some things that we can look forward to maybe happening in our school, especially looking forward and maybe doing some things that, the same things that you're doing. What are some of those things that we should be looking forward to and, just preparing for? And what would be even more awesome is, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but if you can maybe send me some pictures at my email at hinolegorobotics@gmail.com. I don't need to see, pictures of students. That's not what I'm looking for. Maybe just some things of how your classroom looks like now. Some of the safety things that you might be doing that maybe, those of us that want to just get a visual on what that looks like, maybe you can send those pictures to me and I can do a special video on how the robotics class looks like. So I guess my number one question is just what should those of us, especially here in the United States, for those of us that teach robotics, what are some things that are happening in Europe in robotics classes that, we should be preparing for? We should be going, okay, that's something that we'll be expecting to do possibly in our schools come back, when the school starts. Question number two. What changes, especially those of you that have done First Lego League for a long time, what changes are you expecting to see come next season? With everything going on right now, and especially school being very uncertain, what do you think we might have to change for First Lego League? So for all of you long timers in First Lego League, for all you coaches that have been, it doesn't even have to be a long time. For those of you that have been in First Lego League for 1 year, you know enough to maybe think ahead and go, I can see some of these things being changed, some of these things being different. So I'm curious what you guys can see as being different when the next season rolls around for game changers. So that's question number two, is what do you guys think are going to be some differences that we're going to see, that our teams are going to see once the new season comes back around? And I get what you're saying. First we got to come back to school and first figure out how to come back to school, and then, the season might come along. So I understand where you're thinking, hey, Mr. Hino, can you just let us figure out how to come back to school first? But, as soon as we come back to school and you can think ahead to the season, what are some changes, some differences that you might think that we'll see once we come back. And question number 3, I totally want to devote a video to what questions you guys have about First Lego League. Whether you're a first-time coach, whether you're a 5-year coach, I know there's been some questions thrown around just on strategy, technique, just tips or advice. And it'd be nice to, in fact, I'll be the first one to say, man, I'd love to hear tips and advice from all of you guys. But for those of you that want to throw out questions for either myself or definitely other people to answer, because what I want to do is just throw out those questions to everybody and have everybody kind of come together and try to answer that. So for rookie coaches, for first year, third year, however long, what are some of your questions that you want to throw at us, myself, some other, seasoned other teachers or coaches that we can try to answer and make, your first Lego League experience the best it can be. So I know I'm throwing a lot of questions at you guys. I'd love to be able to get your feedback in the comments section, okay? And then what I definitely want to do is come back and definitely answer some of those first Lego League questions. And I definitely, for those of you, again, that live in Europe, for those of you that have already gone back to school and have done some things differently in your robotics class for the safety of, the virus sake, what are some things that, I can throw out to, people to just kind of expect? I'd love to be able to put up some pictures of how your classrooms might be looking. And again, it doesn't even need to be with students. It can just be the way your rooms are set up or different safety things that you guys have in place. I'd love to see it. And I know everybody else would love to see it. Okay, guys, so I'll be waiting for your responses. And again, if you want to throw me some pictures, for those of you that want to give us visuals, it's going to be at hinolegorobotics@gmail.com. Okay, guys, I hope you guys stay safe. I'd love to be able to, again, get some feedback from you guys. So throw that down in the comments section, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm Mr. Hino from Mr. Hino's Lego Robotics. I'm out. Okay, guys, I think my work here is done.
He's out. He's out.
He's out.